Hey everyone, S-Dub Nation here, and welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here in the channel. I like to stop and take the time to rank all of the Season 1 Ninjago episodes, ranked from the worst to the best. Please note that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. My list is certainly not the right list, it is just my list, and you are free to comment down below your ranking from the worst to the best just like me, or you could just do your favorite. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into my ranking. Kicking off my list at number 13, we have Episode 5, Can of Worms. Now, there's nothing horrible about this episode. I actually love all the episodes on this list. I just think that this episode is not more rewatchable. I guess you can like the pink ninja storyline with Zane and also Kai getting the Venomari spit inside of his eyes, and also the lesson is that don't trust accusations or don't trust rumors. I guess that's a cool lesson to have, but all in all, I'm not itching to rewatch this episode inside of the season. Coming in at number 12, we have All of Nothing, episode 11. Now, I think that this episode, it has some great things in it. You know, we see Lloyd suit up as the Green Ninja for the first time, and then, you know, he tries to save the ninja, and for majority of the episode, the ninja do get captured. I think the only thing that I really like about this episode is the fact that Garmadon comes back with the skeleton army and the skeletons versus the Serpentine. It's a cool battle. And then we also have the ninjas themselves. You know, they finally have their true potential, all four of them. So, you know, they have all of their powers and they're just ultra powerful. They're just taking down the Serpentine, and then it kind of slows down when they get captured. And really, I'm not a big fan of them getting captured so easily like that, but hey, it is what it is. This episode is still pretty good. Coming in at number 11 for me has got to go to episode 3, Snakebit. The only thing that I really like about this episode is the fact that Lloyd himself kind of opens up the Fangpyre tombs, and then Jay's mom and dad, they get bit by the Fangpyre, so they're slowly turning into snakes, which introduces a new idea that once you get bit by one of these Serpentines, you can turn into this. It's a very interesting plot line inside of the episode. The one main problem is the fact that Ed and Edna, though they are loving parents, sometimes they come off as annoying, and now I see where Jay gets it from. Also, this is the episode that introduces the golden weapon vehicles, the vehicles that I love, that I wish I could have collected when they first came out. Kicking off my top 10 list has got to go to episode 1, Rise of the Snakes. There's a lot of nostalgia going into this episode, as it actually serving as the pilot to the series. Yeah, we did have the pilot episodes, but I think this is actually like the true pilot to the series, because it introduces Lloyd Garmadon, it introduces the secrets of the Green Ninja, it also introduces the secrets of the golden weapons, and we also get a little bit of tease of what's to come for Nia. But I also love the fact that at the beginning of the episode, we see the ninjas slacking. They feel like they've completed their task, they're actually protecting the golden weapons, and then also when they're training with their golden weapons, that is loads of fun also. Coming in at number 9 for me has got to go to episode 6, The Snake King. To me, this is probably one of the most rewatchable episodes inside of the entire season, mainly because they introduced the ZX suits, the suits that I really love. I love the fact that when the ninjas put on their ZX suits, they just look so shiny and glossy, because yes, these are new suits. We've never seen these before. And then we also had the introduction of the Samurai X. Yes, we did have that introduction in Can of Worms, but I feel like the ninjas are now slowly realizing that the Samurai X guy can steal our thunder, he can steal our publicity, and we don't want that to happen. So they're trying to come up with new ways to kind of discover the Samurai X, because yes, they also made a bet that whoever discovered the Samurai X, they will become the Green Ninja. Like I said, it's one of the most rewatchable episodes inside of the season, and it's just a great time, and I love it. Coming in at number 8 for me has got to go to episode 4, Never Trust a Snake. I don't find this episode more rewatchable than episode 6, but I do feel like this episode is very good. I love the dream sequence with Zane. I love the fact that he's just dreaming of the Green Ninja. We don't know who the Green Ninja is up to this point, because it could be any of the ninja. We see him use his nunchucks. We see him have the falcon on his arm with fire coming out of his hands. We see him use earth. I just think that that was a nice tease to show that any of the ninja could be the Green Ninja. But we later find out that it's actually Lloyd, the one that opened up the Anacondrate tomb inside of this episode and trusted a snake. And later finds out, never trust a snake, because his dad, he got bit by the snake and turned evil. So it's just a nice lesson. I know that's not the real reason why he shouldn't trust a snake, but it is still a good episode. Coming in at number 7 for me has got to go to episode 12, Rise of the Great Devourer. This is actually the first episode of the Ninjago series that I watched. I watched the pilots when they came out, but this was the first episode of the series that I watched, and I enjoy it. I really love this episode. and mainly because we get to see Lloyd in the green ninja suit again. I think this is like the one episode that I remember the teasers of and from season 1, but I hate the fact that Pythor snuck onto the bounty and just stayed there overnight. That was really weird of him to do. Also, we have Sensei Wu having visions, so he has to sacrifice himself with Pythor and have the ninja deal with the Great Devourer. That seems like a cop-out to me. Like, Sensei Wu, did you really want to die so then you wouldn't have to fight the Great Devourer with them, or you just wanted to give them that push? But at the end of the day, I really like this episode. This episode is very good. I just love the little sequence on the train. The train sequence is very nice. We have all the ninjas just quipping and making jokes, and it's just a fun time to have with this episode. But that Sensei Wu and that Pythor thing just kind of sticks out to me. It worked for the episode. It worked for the season. But in growing time, it doesn't. Coming in at number 6 for me has got to go to episode 9, The Royal Blacksmiths. I love seeing Cole's true potential. I love seeing him rebuild his relationship with his father finally accepting him for who he is, realizing that Cole does not have to be just like him, that Cole does not have to follow the same career pathway as he did. And I think that is a fascinating arc for Cole and his father, in fact. And also the purple spin jutsu for Garmadon, when we see Wu and Garmadon fight those little mud monsters. It gets me every time. I don't know why, but I just love seeing Wu and Garmadon be on the same side and fighting. I think that's my main draw to this episode. Other than that, the competition itself, seeing them train for it was really fun. Seeing Cole do the triple tiger sachet, that was pretty cool. And I also love their little performance. It was okay. But I think that Cole's and his father's arc are great. I love the Wu and Garmadon fighting on the same side. I love the triple tiger sachet because it had setup and it paid off in the last episode. But other than that, hey, it's a perfectly fine episode. Before I get into my top 5, I'd like to take the time to say that if you are a fan of Ninjago, which you probably are, that's why you're watching this video, click that playlist up above for everything Ninjago related that I have on my channel. Also, if you are a fan of the MCU, I am doing an MCU rewatch on my podcast. It's called The Regular Podcast, and that link is always in the description and in the comment section, and we will be uploading our final MCU rewatch tomorrow on Monday. Without further ado, let's get into my top 5. Kicking off my top 5 list has got to go to episode 8. Once Bitten, Twice Shy. I saw this episode on YouTube one night, and I literally thought that Jay's hair was different inside of the original episode. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this. Just a fun fact about me. I thought that since it was on YouTube, they kind of CGI'd in his hair. But come to find out, that's his actual hair inside of the entire episode. Like, it's very weird. I love this episode. A nice little parallel to what happened to his parents is happening to Jay later inside of the series. And I just love the fact that he has like this awkward connection with Nia, and Nia kind of has this awkward connection with him. The true standout here is the themes. The themes themselves are amazing because of the fact that we have such a strong relationship between these two characters. I love the fact that Nia just accepts Jay for who he is, and that he doesn't have to be the top Boy Scout. He doesn't have to have all of these ribbons. He's just a kid from the junkyard who just likes a girl. So when he finds out that he doesn't have to impress her, that he can just be himself, he finds his true potential. And I think that's the best thing for all of us as people. We should be able to express ourselves and be ourselves, and we don't have to feel like we should be somebody else. We don't have to feel like we should impress somebody else. We can just be ourselves, and I think that's good enough. Coming in at number 4 for me has got to go to episode 13, Day of the Great Devourer. Now, this episode has a lot of great things going for it. I mean, Wu and Pythor dies, air quotation marks, but we also have the fact that it's the Great Devourer. This is the big finale, the thing that we've been leading up to since the first episode, Rise of the Snakes. We have been leading up to a big snake fighting the ninja, and I like it. I like it. I like seeing the ninjas use the tornado of creation to create the Ultrasonic Raider, another set that I wish I collected when it first came out. But also, it just has a lot of fun factors with it. I wish that they kind of used the golden weapons a little bit more against the snake, but seeing the Ultra Dragon come back, that was awesome. And also, we have Garmadon getting his little redemption inside of this season. We have him killing the Great Devourer with the golden weapons. Even though he takes off with them, he runs off with them, I still love the fact that he gets his revenge on the Great Devourer, and it is an amazing scene. In the end, we have the ninjas promising to train Lloyd for his big fight with his father, and leaves the door open for more adventures to come inside of the series. Kicking off my top 3 list has got to go to episode 2, Home. I really like this episode for a number of reasons. I think this was the first episode I kind of felt emotional about because of how they treated Zane in the beginning of the episode. I don't know why. I kind of felt bad for Zane. Like, they didn't have to throw the food around. The food kind of looked good, so they didn't really have to throw his food around. But I just think that this assures that Zane is actually the weirdest character inside of the series. Like, my number 2 might assure that, but this assures, at the time being, that Zane was definitely the weirdest character and had a lot of mystery to him. First off, he cooks very well, but he also just can't hear people yelling at him or something like that. And then he also dances with a bird and gets the idea, hey, I should follow that bird because he danced with me. And that is pretty weird. But he does figure out where Lloyd's treehouse is at, and they destroy the treehouse later on. But we also have cool action sequences like the treehouse siege, and we also have the Cole versus the rest of the ninjas, because he was hypnotized in the first episode. That gets paid off here. Another thing about it, they also find the Destiny's Bounty, which is one of the best Ninjago bases inside of the entire series. You can check out that video up above for my more elaborate thoughts on that base. So at the end of the episode, the monastery is burnt down, and the ninjas kind of blame Zane for it, even though Zane really didn't do anything. So Zane sees the bird again, he flies off with his dragon and finds the Destiny's Bounty. There he cooks food out of scratch. I don't know where he got it from. I guess it was the sand. And Zane kind of forgives the ninjas for, crapping on him. And then they all run to the Destiny's Bounty to eat his food. And yeah, honestly, if I was Zane, I wouldn't forgive them. Like, I would just eat all the food. That's just my personal opinion. My runner-up at number 2 has got to go to episode 7, Tock. Now, if the second episode of the series assured that Zane was the weirdest character, this one definitely did, because it shows that he is a robot. We have seen his mystery unfold, and I love it. I think that Tock just is such a great origin story for Zane, because it shows his father's backstory. It shows Zane that this is who he is. This is the truth about himself, that he is actually a robot, and he was meant to be different. He was meant to be the most weirdest character on the team, but also he became one of the most heartfelt. And this episode, yeah, it may be great, and it also has so many secrets discovered, and it also serves as one of the most emotional episodes inside of the series. But coming in my number 1 has got to go to episode 10, The Green Ninja. All the ninjas have found out their true potential. The only one left is Kai, and he puts on the Green Ninja gi to try to unlock his firepower, try to unlock his true potential, and it just does not work. I mean, it does not work. And mainly it's because I think at this point, he's selfish. He's only thinking about himself. He wants to get the Fame Blades. He wants to win. He wants to become the Green Ninja. And while everybody else kind of discovered themselves and kind of discovered where their true potential comes from, and all he wants to do is just unlock his true potential. So he has a fight with Garmadon. He's iffy about Garmadon. He wants to just get the Fame Blade for himself. He leaves his teammates behind. He leaves Lloyd behind at first. So this entire episode is just built upon the fact that Kai only thinks about himself. And then when he realizes that his powers won't work because he's so determined to get the Fang Blade, his powers begin to work when he starts thinking about other people. That's why I love his true potential so much, because of the fact that throughout the entire series up to this point, Kai has only been thinking about himself. Throughout the entire episode, Kai has only been thinking about himself. And when he looks over and sees Lloyd there, he realizes that I'm supposed to protect him. I'm supposed to protect this kid. He's the Green Ninja. So he goes over there, he discovers his true potential, flies out of the volcano, and he is the first one to discover the prophecy that Lloyd is the Green Ninja, and it also has one of the best reveal out there. Learning that Lloyd was the Green Ninja, amazing stuff. So I think that this episode right here has the greatest themes, has the most complex character arcs for Kai. So episode 10, The Green Ninja, has to come in at number 1. Alright guys, that is it for the ranking. Please know that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion. My list was certainly not the right list. It was just my list, and you are free to comment down below your ranking of all of the Season 1 Ninjago episodes, ranked from the worst to the best just like me, or you could just do your favorite. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.